Welcome to Chair Yoga for the care of Waldenstroms. I'm so happy and so pleased that you made your way here to take care of yourself today. Today we're going to focus our class on breathing. And we're going to do a movement practice, of course, that goes along with that. And I want to share with you some of my favorite breath exercises. And I want to also kind of dispel some of the myths about breathing out there, if I can, and also share with you the kinds of breathing exercises that are too intense for some of us that we might want to avoid. So why don't we get started by taking the glasses off, if you wear glasses, and that's an option. Everything in this class is optional. If you don't feel it's right for you, just move on to the next thing. So I'm going to start by just rubbing my hands together, creating a little warmth, a little kindness, infusing my hands with care, compassion for myself, and I'll just cup my palms over my eyes very loosely, very lightly, and take a moment. Make sure you can feel a part of your body touching the support below. Maybe it's your feet on the earth or seat in the chair or back in the bed. And I'm going to take 3 clearing, cleansing breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Letting the eyes rest as I breathe in. Breathe out. Always going at my own pace, especially with breathing cues. And I might roll my eyes around within the eye sockets. And then I'll gradually and slowly bring the hands down, maybe massage the face a little bit, smooth out the brow. Get that jawline, any areas where you're feeling tight or tense. And once you sort of start massaging the face, you realize, gosh, the whole thing really could use a little attention. At least that is how it is with me. So we're just massaging the face, maybe the neck. And if you like, you could put your glasses back on, or you could leave them off, totally up to you. All right, so I'm going to start with a little bit of neck exercise so that we can get into a little flow together, and then we'll move into some more specific breathing exercises. So I'm going to start just by tilting my right ear to my right shoulder, inhaling to center, exhaling left ear, left shoulder. Good. I'm breathing in center, breathing out to the right. Moving at my own pace, center, other side. Moving from side to side and letting both shoulders just relax here. The only thing moving is my head upon my neck. And I might feel that one direction is easier or more challenging. If you find that there's one side that feels more resistant, why don't you stay there for a little bit longer, maybe 2 breaths, and hold that. And as you exhale, see what you can let go of. All right, coming back to center, I'm just going to make some little circles with my whole head. If that would feel okay for you, little circles in one direction, and I'm noticing all the snap, crackle, pops. That is normal. I could move in the other direction. Good, and then I'll come back to center, and I'm going to bring my arms down at my sides. So we're going to do some arm salutes. This is a wonderful way to get into sort of a flow state. So we're connecting the breath with our movement. The breath can kind of be in the foreground. I'm going to inhale my arms out and up and exhale my hands to heart center. And you can modify this to suit your body today. Breathing in, breathing out. You might even close the eyes, feeling that support underneath you. Finding your breath rhythm. I'm breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And I might do 3 more of these arm salutes, recognizing that I am in this Waldenstrom's community. I am not alone. I am here with other people who may have similar issues to mine and may be able to help me, and I may be able to help them. Bringing those hands to heart center. I'm going to interlace my fingers and just press the palms away, juice up the fingers a little bit. See how that would feel for you. Lots of us caring for issues in the hands, the wrists. Juicing that up. And then I'll go ahead and take my hands down to my chair, or maybe to the back of my chair. What I'm looking for here, even if you're in a bed, is a little bit, or standing, a little bit of a spinal extension, meaning arching of the back. So I'm going to try to envision my heart can lift up towards the ceiling. So it's almost like I can feel an imaginary hand right on my upper back, pushing my heart towards the ceiling. I'm going to let my shoulders relax. My chin can be level with the earth if that would feel better, or I could lift my chin. And I'm finding a couple of breaths here across my chest, letting it out the mouth. Maybe one more breath. All right, and then I'm just going to rinse the arms across the chest, crossing like scissors, one arm on top and then the other arm on top. So a lot of us over the years begin to develop a rounded posture. This is not like a news flash for anybody, I think. This is pretty well known. And it's nothing that you have done wrong. It is just what it is. So yoga is one of the ways we can help undo this rounded posture. Why on earth would we want to undo it? Well, lots of reasons. Or not undo it. We want to come, into whatever state of stability in order to support breathing. So I like to do a little demonstration, if you would, my friends, at home, in your living rooms, in your bedrooms, in your offices, and those who are watching the recording. I want you to show me what you think is the worst posture, right? The worst posture that you can get into, like maybe that would accentuate that. I don't want you to really aggressively round the back, but we're getting into like maybe the body slump where you're really not paying attention and that lower back is just tipping back and I'm letting my shoulders sag. And I want you to try to take a breath here. So we're breathing in, breathing out, just noticing what breathing feels like in this terrible posture. All right, now I'm going to sit up a little taller and I might take my hand to my belly, my hand to my low back, and I'm going to do a few pelvic tilts here. So you might see really the only thing moving are my hips and my lower back. So I'm accentuating my lumbar curve and decentuating it. So I'm tipping the pelvis forward and back. It could be a really subtle movement. And I want to find what feels like kind of a nice sweet spot where I'm stabilized. I'm not tipping back with my pelvic tilt, and I'm not overly tilting forward. So I'm just like a Goldilocks level, just right in the center there. And then I'm going to lift my shoulders up, back, and down. And notice what my shoulders tend to do. They tend to kind of slump down. So I want to turn on the muscles in between or alongside of my upper spine. So I might try to just do a little exercise here with you. I'm going to bring my arms straight ahead and I'm going to simply plug my shoulders back. Now I'm reaching my hands forward and plugging them back. And really the only thing moving here are my shoulder blades. Squeezing. And if you were on your hands and knees, you could really feel this in a more exaggerated way. So maybe you do 1 or 2 more of these. It's really good. So I'm going to stay with my little bit of a squeeze. And then let's get into some breathing here. Option to rest a hand on the heart or chest and on the belly. So I've got my posture. I'm sitting up tall. I've got a little squeeze of my shoulder blades. My pelvis is neither tipping forward or back. And I'm going to close my eyes. I can connect with my breath a little easier that way. And we're just going to try some natural breathing. I'm breathing in through my nose and imagining those nose hairs filtering out all of the unwanted particles, all of the bacteria. So when I breathe in and out of my nose, that is what is happening. If I feel more comfortable breathing out of the mouth, that's always an option, but I'm going to try to stick to breathing in through my nose. And we're going to be taking about 10 breaths in a row. So let's go ahead and let the belly be soft. And we're just going to observe what it feels like to breathe. Notice the air coming in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. I'm focusing my attention. Therefore, I am meditating on my breath, moving in and out. What is the temperature of my breath as it moves in, as it moves out? And I'm going to give myself permission to just completely arrive in this present moment, in whatever state of being I'm really in. Maybe these last couple of breaths, you can notice the body moving with the breath, the chest rising, the belly rising. Noticing where you feel your breath in your body, this physical container. All right. Blinking, the eyes open, coming out of that. So that is just one very simple breath exercise you can do. We're getting into a good posture. We're placing the hands on the body so we can be in the body, and we're just noticing what we can notice. It's a breath awareness exercise, and that's kind of usually the way in. Let's do a little more movement here so we can accentuate breath, how we feel the breath in the rib cage. So I'm going to take a wider stance, and I'm going to slide my right hand up my right rib cage and lean to the left. I'm going to let my shoulder relax, and I'm going to see how it would feel to breathe and see if I could lift my rib cage with my breath into my right hand. And I can already feel some space opening up into the spine as a result of this lateral flexion that we're doing. Coming back to center, sliding the left hands up the left rib cage, leaning to the right, shoulder relaxing, and I'm lifting that rib cage with my breath. It might be very subtle. Maybe this side feels different. All right, let's go ahead and move more of the body now. I'm lifting my whole right arm up and over. And I'm exposing the right side body and stretching the muscles between the ribs. See if you can get a little bit longer as opposed to deeper in a twist. Good. Come on back to center. Left arm lift. Reaching up and over, getting longer. And then we'll move from side to side at your own pace. Make it your own. Just flowing from side to side. And imagining that your rib cage was like an accordion. We're squeezing the accordion shut on one side, and the other side is lifting and opening, the air flowing in. And of course, that leads my mind to want to practice a little bee's breath. Maybe next. I've tried bee's breath during a movement practice, and it can be a little bit much. So you could try it. You could always try it. Let's take one more little side bend on each side. Oh my goodness, Marnie, your cat wants to do yoga with you so badly. I love it. So sweet. And then we'll come back and we'll do that arms across, arms open, scissoring, bringing those arms back behind you as far as you can with that shoulder blade squeezing. Good. All right, bringing those hands down at the sides. I'm taking my hands to my belly. And I'm just going to give my belly permission to be the shape it really is. I'm going to let go of clenching or holding my abdominal muscles for a moment. I'm still doing that to some degree to stay seated, right? But I am just going to close my eyes and try to fill my hands with my breath and relax on my exhale. Yes, it's like imagine you were unbuttoning the top button of your pants and just letting things be elastic. Taking some belly breaths. And this might be a time to add bee's breath. So belly's breath is sometimes hard for me to get into right away. I'm going to add some humming sound. Bee's breath is simply humming, great for immune system health. So I'm sending this over to Jill, who is recovering in the hospital right now. I want to give you a little extra immune support. So we're breathing in through the nose, and as we exhale, we're going to create a humming sound, and you might even feel it down as far as your belly. Breathing in, letting the belly relax. Breathing out. Mouth is closed. For 3 more. And 1 more. Beautiful. Thank you, my friends. Again, with a wide stance, I'm going to take my arms out to the sides. And I'm just going to twist my torso to the right and to the left. I'm breathing in whatever way feels natural to me. Getting a little bit of rotation of the spine and putting a little pressure on the organs, and also moving the diaphragm muscle, the muscle most involved with our respiratory effort. All right, maybe one more on each side. And then coming back. And let's do one more round of belly breathing, okay? And I'm just gonna really let myself relax for a moment. So I got my hand on my belly, and I wanna just give you a little visual. So my hands are my diaphragm. The diaphragm is kind of like an umbrella. And when you breathe in, the diaphragm pushes down. And so when it pushes down, it puts a little pressure on all of the contents in the lower abdomen, in the abdomen. So that is why I like belly breathing for a deeper, fuller breath and increasing vagal tone. The vagal nerve goes all the way down into the belly. So as I breathe in, that diaphragm pushes down, and I want my belly to give my diaphragm all the room it can. And as I breathe out, I'm just coming back to neutral or squeezing my belly in a little bit. So as I breathe in, belly goes out. As I breathe out, belly relaxes to neutral. And this is just one way you can breathe. Sometimes when we're doing movement, belly breathing is really hard to do, and we might want to breathe more into the chest. So just an emphasis on doing what feels best for you. I just wanted to give you a little bit of info on the diaphragm, that muscle that we use for breathing. So when you're laying in bed sometime at night and you can't sleep, you can take a hand on the belly, and you could put a pillow on your belly, and you can kind of follow that movement of the belly. That's a really nice thing to do. And yeah, rubbing the belly is always really nice too. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of lower body movement, because I really want to make sure we get a fuller practice. I'm going to stretch my right leg out and point and flex my right foot, my toes on my right foot, pointing and flexing with that right leg lifted. And then I'll switch sides with the left leg lifted, pointing, flexing. And then one more on each side. Right leg lifted, pointing, flexing, maybe circling the ankle. See how that would feel. And then left leg lifted, circling the ankle. I'm going to come to the very, very edge of my seat, and I'm going to feel my core working as I march in place. So here I can imagine the lymph nodes at my hip crease and in my armpits. I'm pumping, and I'm giving a little squeeze to this part of the body, pumping my lymph fluid. Somebody in our Facebook group was asking, is there a connection between exercise and immune system health? And yes, there is. And this is one thing you can think of while you're exercising. I love to have the why behind everything, that we have to pump the lymph fluid through movement or deep breathing, like we were just doing with the belly breath, or sometimes that's called diaphragmatic breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's awesome, guys. Let's go ahead and wide stance, do some circles. Come back the other direction. And then I'm just going to bring my arms back out to the sides again. I'm going to walk my opposite arm and leg in and out. Walking opposites in and out. Keeping that core nice and strong. And I'm softening my gaze. Maybe I'm not looking at the monitor for a moment, and I'm just getting into my little zone, my coordination zone, my cross crawl zone. 2, 1. Yay, give yourselves a hug. Okay, so I'm tucking my chin, taking a couple of breaths. And then I will give you the option to stand for a few little poses. We'll come back down and talk about breath practices I like to avoid. We'll also practice alternate nostril breathing. So coming to stands, noticing the feet, starting with my tiptoes, coming up onto my tiptoes and releasing back down. I have my chair here. And if you're staying in your seat or you're laying in your bed, you can move the toes however they want to move. So I'm lifting up and releasing down. Now, if I like, I could add arm movement here. Maybe it's one arm floating up, or maybe it's both arms. Maybe I want to challenge my balance today, and I want to stay lifted and float down as slowly as I possibly can. Really feel strength there in the ankles, the feet. Beautiful, Sophie. I love those sleeves. You look like an angel while you do this. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's do 3 or 4 or 5 more, depending on your energy level. And last one. You got it, Greg. Very nice. I'm going to bend my knees, maybe just a little bit if I have knee issues, or maybe a little more if I don't, and then I'll bring my hips back. I'll tuck my belly towards my spine so my core is involved, and then see how it would feel to press your feet apart isometrically. So we're not really moving the feet, we're just pressing into the floor. And then I'm bringing my arms straight out in front into my chair pose. I'm going to inhale and lift my arms up, straighten my knees. Exhale, sink down. Breathe in, lift up so strong. Exhale, sink down. Take a breather if you need it. Inhaling. You got it. Exhale. Last one. Really nice, guys. And then I'm taking a downward facing dog, just resting my hands on the back of my chair, walking my feet away and giving the backs of my legs a stretch. I could keep my gaze lifted if I have glaucoma, vertigo. And if you do have those things, I'm sorry. Finding a couple of breaths here. And then slowly, slowly making my way up. I'm going to step my right foot forward and keep my left foot back. And we'll do a real quick little warrior one here. So I'm bending into my right knee. The left leg is straight with a nice angle to that back foot. And I'm just going to swoop the arm up and over. That left arm, I'm holding on to my chair with my right arm. Can you feel the stretch in the left hip? So it's all connected. That psoas muscle, that hip flexor muscle, that's part of the stress response, believe it or not. But it contracts when you're stressed. And, you know, these muscles are all connected by fascia. So when you're breathing a nice deep breath, you could even get into the hip flexors with that breath. And when we're stretching the hip flexors, we can also do good things for our vagal tone. Okay, let's switch sides. I'm going to step the left foot forward, right foot back. Warrior one. Right hip flexor is being stretched as my right arm swoops up and over. Finding my breath. We're doing about 8 swoops here. Or you can be in a more static pose if that would feel better for you. You got it. Finding your breath. And then I'm coming to another downward facing dog. Maybe I want to wag my tail a little bit here. And slowly, slowly making my way up. Coming around to the front of my chair and sitting down. Just a quick standing sequence today. So let's move into our hip stretch. I got that right ankle over my left knee. I might massage the bottom of my right foot. Right? You could always do this reclining if that would feel better. Some of you have like a massage table, or you might be in a bed. I'm reaching my heart forward or pulling my leg towards my chest if I'm on my back, or coming up onto the tiptoe of that left foot. Leaning forward, letting my shoulders relax, not rounding my back too much. That's good. And then let's sit up. We'll cross the knee over and take that twist to the right. Twisting to the right, peeking over my right shoulder. Easy breath. Sigh out. And then slow return to center. Switching sides. Left ankle, right knee. Say hello to each other. Massage the foot if you like, if it's available, or maybe part of that left leg. Leaning forward. When you're ready for the stretch, maybe you don't have to go very far before you feel a lot of sensation. And I don't want to force it. I don't want to round my back and jet my chin forward. I just want to lean the nice flat back and a tucked chin, or pull the leg towards the chest if you're on your back. And then we'll move to the twist. So left knee over the right, twisting my torso, using those core muscles, twisting to the left. And slow return to center, making any other movements the body's asking for. If you really needed to, discharge energy here, you can get up and do some marching or something like that. I'm going to move in a little closer to you, and we'll do some alternate nostril breathing. I love this practice, doing this in my car. So you're in your car, not while you're driving, although I have to confess I have done it while I'm driving. And you're just about to get out of your car and go into something stressful. Maybe you're the one driving, maybe you're not. You can do some rounds of this breath practice, and it is very balancing. So the inhale is associated with the sympathetic side of the nervous system, the autonomic nervous system, and the exhale is associated with the parasympathetic side of the autonomic nervous system. The left side is associated with that softer relaxation side, and the right side is associated with that solar fight or flight side. So we've got a lot to sort of think about with that, and balance is really what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take my right hand, or your left if you're left-handed. I'm going to fold the first two fingers back. This is the way that was taught to me. If this isn't something that feels comfortable to you, you can make any hand shape that you like. Honestly, the whole goal is I'm just going to have this mudra that will close and open my nostrils for me. I always start by breathing into the left side. So I'm just going to do some left side breathing for now. I'm going to lightly depress my right nostril, and I'm inhaling and exhaling through my left nostril, and I still have left a little bit of air so that a little bit of air can come in and out of that left nostril, or right nostril, excuse me. or left nostril, sorry. This is hard, I'm mirroring this. So we're just noticing breathing in and out of the left nostril. That air flowing in and out. And if you're clogged, right, you're not going to do this. This is something you're going to skip. All right, and now we're going to try the other side and see how that feels. So I'm going to lightly depress. See, these two fingers act as the strength of the thumb. Lightly depress that right nostril, left nostril. Inhale and exhale through the left. Or right, excuse me. And we're going in and out. Not forcing it. Drinking it in, sipping it in through that one nostril. And then coming back to some normal breath, and you can just rub the hands. So for the people who are here in the live class, I'm going to do a little poll. How many of you have one or both of the nostrils clogged to the degree where you don't feel comfortable doing the practice? So it looks like everybody's feeling clear to do the practice. If you were not feeling clear to do the practice, you can mentally follow the flow. Like you can imagine, and I will show you maybe some other time because we're pressed for time, but there is a mental version that you can do of this where you're just imagining the air coming from your, coming in and out in this horseshoe pattern. So let's try one round of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. Nadi means energy channel, and Shodhana means the unblocking of. So this is not just about your actual nostrils and sinuses. This is about your energetic channel or Nadi. So I won't get into the energetic body too much right now, but you can feel the whole left side of the body if you want, and the whole right side of the body if you want. So let's come back to whatever hand shape feels good for you. Maybe you're doing this mudra, maybe you're not. We're going to do one round. So I'm lightly depressing that right nostril and inhaling left. Closing left, exhaling right. Inhaling right. Closing, exhaling left. Good. That was one round. So we're going up the left, out the right, up the right, out the left. Kind of like sliding up a mountain, like that, up and down. So let's give maybe 3 rounds a try. And you could even close your eyes if you like. So always starting by breathing in with the left nostril, and we're ending with breathing out of the left nostril. So inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Continuing on, inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Do this on your own at your own pace. Breathing in this horseshoe pattern. And the next time you exhale from your left nostril, you can come out of it, come back to regular breathing, and just notice the effects of Nadi Shodhana. For me, it feels very clarifying and focusing. It gives me something to do, and it gets me breathing. So breath practice can be a daily practice that we do to manage stress. It can be a meditation, which can help with focus. So many reasons to do breathing. I'll just wrap up our class by saying the breath practice that I don't like. And I'll tell you why I don't like it. So breath, anything that asks you to hold your breath is, I'm going to just push it off the table for those of us with chronic illness, for those of us with anxiety, for those of us with blood pressure issues. So that covers a lot of us in this group right here. Holding the breath can be very anxiety producing, and it might be something that you are perfectly comfortable with. And if you're comfortable with it, and it's a practice that it's sort of an advanced practice to hold the breath. And yet, I hear a lot of healthcare professionals offering box breathing as, oh, you should do box breathing. That'll help you with your anxiety. That'll help you with your sleep issues. That'll help you manage stress. Box breathing, and it sometimes comes with different counts, but I've heard it, it's 4 in and you hold it for 8, and then it's 4 out and you hold it for 7. I've heard square breathing, which is holding a 4, inhale 4, holding 4. So we're holding. And when you're holding the breath, you're really in this stasis state, right? We want to keep the breath flowing. We want to pump the lymph fluid. Instead, I invite you to use these practices. Like, you could try square breathing, you could try box breathing, but instead of holding, just do a pause. Like a little pause up at the top and an exhalation. And you can try rhythmic breathing instead. This is what I would really, really recommend. Rhythmic breathing, meaning we're breathing in and out for roughly the same length of time. You're doing an inward count. Breathing in, 2, 3. Breathing out, 2, 3. Little tiny pause at the top, little tiny pause at the bottom. So let's give that a try. We'll just do maybe 5 of these breaths. Rhythmic breathing with a tiny pause. And your breath count could be 3, could be 4, it could be 5. I'm going to start low. Maybe it's even 2. So I'm breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders relaxing. Jaw is relaxing. You're choosing your own count and you're counting inwardly. Same length on the inhale and on the exhale. And there might be a tiny pause at the top. There might be a tiny pause at the bottom. One more breath together, friends. And then we'll close our class just like we started it, taking the glasses off, rubbing the hands together, knowing there are so many ways we can support our well-being, and breathing is one of them. And there are many, many different ways to breathe. But I want to emphasize the way that feels best is what's best for you. So let's cup the palms over the eyes and just drink in a little bit of this togetherness, this community feeling. I'm going to miss you guys while I travel in Montana this coming week. So I'll be doing a lot of breathing on the plane, and it's such a great place to meditate. Rolling the eyes around in the eye sockets here one last time. And then we can bring the hands to heart center, keeping the eyes closed or softly gazing. And I'll close our class with 1 Om and 3 Shantis, meaning peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanking you so much for your practice, friends. We will not have chair yoga on Monday next week. Sign up for our Eating Well to Live Well with Waldenstrom's webinar, and then we'll have cardio flow the following week. It's all on the calendar that I'll be sending out. Thank you so much, and thank you for your practice.